Concerns, concerns, concerns. That seemed to be the message coming from all the experts on the panel presenting to landlords at the meeting at Odyssee on Wednesday night. A lot of people don't know exactly what impact will come from the new cannabis law in many sectors.
It is potentially scary. For the most part, we deal with the one-off situations where, there's a problem going on in the property, and we'll get a call from a tenant or a landlord, and we'll address the issue on a case-by-case basis and try to determine what are the specifics around that issue, and how does the Fire Code and the Fire Protection and Prevention Act, how does that impact that particular situation?
You talked about, not saying busting grow-ops per se, but there are violations that you'll be looking for.
Oh, absolutely. Certain things like the use of hydro, the improper use of electricity in the unit, right? The use of extension cords as temporary wiring will be a definite issue. One of the other things I talked about is there's a very clear and present danger with respect to extraction of hash oil out of the cannabis leaf, right? And use of propane or butane to do that.
Number one concern I have for landlords is in regards to the lawful ability for people to grow and consume cannabis within the tenants' apartments, and how would the landlords respond to that. So I've had discussions with a number of landlords today in regards to the number of plants versus the number of units and the number of individuals within their apartments or within their areas in which their residents are located, and the aspect in regards to what is a safe ability to grow versus what is a dangerous ability to grow. How do they monitor what provisions are allowed to provide to those people in regards to safely growing? So is it a plastic container? Is it a garbage bag? What it's going to be? So we've had a lot of discussions in regards to the lawful limit and how that's applied to residents. That's the first one I have. The second one I have is in regards to, a lot of them are concerned in regards to the consumption of in smoking cannabis within their apartments or their various residences, and how does that apply to landlords?
John Wilson heads up the Near North Landlords Association and called the meeting on Wednesday night. He expects many more meetings to be called because there are so many unknowns out there.
That's exactly what we've been anticipating, and that's one of the reasons we've started the educational process. We want to invoke a need amongst our members to learn more.
What do they need to learn? Because there's a lot of information coming out tonight.
We need to learn what the law is to start with. We don't know yet. So we're dealing with a vague unknown. Until we can clarify that unknown, see the legislation, and then see the impacts of it on tenancies, we won't know where we go.
Yes, I'm very afraid.
What are you afraid of?
It's going to cost us a lot of money, damage on our building. I'll get calls from tenants saying people are smoking marijuana in my building. I have people with oxygen tanks that they have a hard time to breathe. And if their smoke goes in that apartment, what am I supposed to do?
So tonight's meeting probably added more questions to your resume, so to speak, instead of more answers.
You're right, yes. And why should they put something in law when it's not really, they don't know what they're doing?